Hello everyone and welcome back to another Schmeat video. Today it's not going to be a Hornets video, it's going to be a former Hornets video, Malik Monk. And a lot of Hornets fans remember Malik Monk, remember his trials and tribulations, as you can call it, because he was a very polarizing player off the bench for us for most of his career with the Hornets. We drafted him first round out of Kentucky. Really good potential, and I still think he has really good potential. But his name is being put in the limelight because he went to the Lakers in free agency, and anybody that goes on the Lakers is going to have that clout attached with them. You saw Alex Caruso's transformation, and now he's a solid role player on the Bulls. You saw THT saying his trade market value is so high. Part of the reason because he's a good player, but another part is because he gets all this publicity on the Los Angeles Lakers. If he was on a different team like the Thunder, would he get all that trade talk and all that publicity? Probably not. So Malik Monk going to the Hornets, or going to the Lakers from the Hornets, came with a lot of clout attached to his name, and now he has LeBron tweeting his name after good games. And we're going to get to his transformation into a solid player on the Lakers, but I want to talk about the little stigma that LeBron has with the Hornets. I don't know if it's really with the Hornets, but it's how the Hornets utilized Malik Monk when he was on the Hornets. So basically, LeBron put out a tweet that was like a retweet from one of the guys he usually retweets on Twitter. And the guy that initially tweeted it on Twitter, it was LeBron. It was a meme of this guy looking in a cage at some animal, I believe, and was like, "I'm gonna get you out of here." And that's literally what LeBron, as an owner, did to Malik Monk. He got him from the Hornets, and somehow that matches. But what I really hate is that there's a stigma that the Hornets mismanaged his play style and mismanaged his potential, and that's just not true. That's just not true. He was not. Okay, first of all, he had multiple off-the-court issues. He had a drug stint where he got, I think it was just marijuana. It wasn't like, heroin, but he still got, suspended for a couple games last season. It was well documented that at the start of the season, we gave him no playing time, and then when we gave him playing time, he kind of shined a little bit. He did. And I guess that's what LeBron means by mismanaging his potential. But we had so many good guys that gave us so many good quality minutes last season than Malik Monk. Although he did have a couple game winners with us, he did have, I think he had that 39-point game or something last season. He went off for a bunch of threes. It's not like we mismanaged his potential. We gave him the option to come back. We did. If people are telling you that we didn't offer him a contract, or that nobody offered him because I remember he said that nobody offered him a contract in free agency. I guarantee that the Hornets offered him a contract in free agency. I do. Whether that was the money he wanted for a small market team like the Hornets, I don't know if he calls that a contract. But what I do know is that he took a minimum contract with the Lakers to try to get a championship. And for a young player to do that, it can have a negative impact and a beneficial impact. So the beneficial impact is to learn from LeBron, Anthony Davis, all the vets. Obviously, Rajon Rondo isn't there anymore, but he could learn from him as well. That's the beneficial impact of going to a championship caliber team. Are the Lakers a championship caliber team right now? Not really. I don't think so. Now with Anthony Day-to-Day Davis always out, LeBron's putting on a show, but where's the help around him? He has 40-year-olds as his help around him, but that's another topic for another day. What I'm saying is that that's the beneficial impact of going to a championship team as a young player, is that you can learn those championship attributes that the Hornets can't give you. Who's gonna be that person on the Hornets that has that championship DNA, as you can call it? Ish Smith does not have that. Gordon Hayward, no, he's been to the second round of the playoffs and that's it. So that's the beneficial impact of going to a championship. The negative impact, and what I was focusing mainly on when he signed, is that it's kind of like ring chasing. And it's not the most beneficial thing for a young player to go to a team that's already established by all these vets and to try to establish yourself. But I guess I was kind of wrong, because over this last span, although he had a really bad game versus the Grizzlies, 3 of 13, shooting 7 points. Before that, here's his points in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. Here's his points from the last 7 games. 29 points, 24, 22, 18, 15, 25. That is really good numbers for a Malik Monk. Especially the 29 point per game, or 29 game against the Hawks. He had 7 threes, 24 game against the Kings. He had 6 threes. He's becoming this player that you can rely on for your streaky shooting. And that might sound contradictory, as you can rely on streaky shooting, but that's Malik Monk in a nutshell. It's hard to really gauge his playing style, because he has these games where he looks like the next Reggie Miller, and he looks like this streaky guy. He looks kind of like a Jordan Clarkson type. But then he has these games where he doesn't really shoot, plays 29 minutes, 1 for 3 from the 3-point range, and if he doesn't really give you points, what is he out there for? That's why I call him, kind of like a Jordan Clarkson protege, is but like all he can do is score. And when he's scoring, the team usually does pretty good, and when he's not, what's the team really doing with him out there? He's not really playing defense, although in his last game versus Grizzlies, he did have 3 blocks, which is kind of funny. But that is the Malik Monk kind of trend. I made a video last season about the Malik Monk experience. I think it's titled, and it's kind of the same with the Lakers. But I hate the stigma that the Hornets mismanaged his play style, because we did aid to his play style. We put him off the bench. We played him with our second unit so he could be the guy primarily scoring. We didn't have a LeBron to pass it to him. We had LaMelo, which he tries his hardest, but he's on the first team. So him playing with Malik Monk isn't really the same as LeBron playing with Malik Monk, because LeBron is this all-time great. And you have all these players just wanting to win on the Lakers, just like the Hornets. But I don't think we mismanaged him at all. I just think he has an increased role as a shot creator on the Lakers, because that's the rare thing. You have Carmelo Anthony sometimes having a good game, sometimes not. If I want to see his how many threes he's taken, Carmelo, why isn't it showing up? If I want to see his threes that Carmelo's taken, 4 threes, 7 threes, 2 threes, 7 threes, 7 threes, 8 threes. You have Carmelo, you have that white guy off the bench. What the hell is his name? I forget. And then you have Malik Monk. There's not a lot of shot creation. Avery Bradley's not going to give you 5 made threes a night. So that is Malik Monk's impact, is that he is this 3-point shooter that the Lakers need. Because what's the saying that you need shooters around LeBron? It's true, and they don't have a lot of shooters in LA. So that's the only change, is that we had shooters on the Hornets last season. We have Gordon Hayward, we have Terry Rozier, we have LaMelo Ball shooting 40% from the field. We have all these shooters. We didn't really need Malik Monk to be that primary shot maker, shooter that he is with the Lakers. And I think that's the only difference, and that's why LeBron might say he's mismanaged. I think it's just a different team. I don't think it's a different player. But that's the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.